Listen closely, the wind whispered through an old orchard, because not every lesson comes in thunder, some arrive in quiet humiliation. Our story begins beneath the shadow of a grand apple tree, tall, lush, crowned with red fruit that caught the sunlight like jewels. Birds perched on its branches, children napped beneath its shade, and travellers praised its beauty. And just at its roots, a small seedling, fragile, trembling, barely a green thread, poked through the soil. The tree rustled with pride. "Look at you," it scoffed, its leaves shimmering with superiority. "So tiny, so helpless. What makes you think you could ever be like me?" The seedling quivered but said nothing. Its roots barely touched earth. Its leaves were no larger than fingernails. Yet deep beneath the soil it held a memory, though faint, of darkness, patience, and the slow unfurling of potential. Days passed. Rain came. Sunlight returned. The seedling grew, but so did the tree's arrogance. "You don't belong here," it sneered. "You'll never rise high enough. You'll never bear fruit. You'll never matter." The wind carried its words like insults chiseled in stone. The seedling, weary and unsure, whispered one question: "Were you never small?" But the tree did not answer. It had forgotten. Then summer turned fierce. A dry wind blew across the orchard. Leaves curled, soil cracked, birds flew away. The seedling struggled, its tiny stem wilting. Meanwhile, the great tree shook in frustration, branches thirsting. For the first time it trembled. Storms it could handle. But drought? That was different. Yet the seedling, small enough that morning dew reached it, kept growing, inch by inch. And then, crack, a storm rolled through. Lightning split the sky, and thunder hammered the valley. The seedling bent in the wind, pressed nearly flat. But the apple tree, older, brittle, arrogant, snapped a heavy limb. One of its prized branches crashed to the ground. When dawn arrived, pain shuddered through the orchard. The seedling lifted its head and gasped. The great apple tree looked different now, less certain, less tall, stripped of fruit. For the first time it spoke softly. "I forgot," it murmured, voice trembling, "that I was once a seed too." The wind sighed through its leaves. "I forgot how hard it was. I forgot what it meant to be small." The seedling, now taller than before, leaned toward the wounded giant. "Then remember," it said gently, "so you do not wound others again." Seasons passed. The broken branch decomposed, feeding the soil. The tree healed slowly, modestly, and beside it the seedling rose, no longer mocked but acknowledged. In time, birds perched on its branches, shade pooled beneath its leaves, and yes, apples formed like rubies at dawn. Children played beneath both trees now, and the old apple tree whispered whenever pride tugged at it, "Never forget. Greatness begins in smallness. Every towering life once needed shelter. So remember, dear listener, before boasting, before judging, before belittling, pause, look at your roots, because arrogance blinds, but humility remembers." If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.